People are charging $5,000 a month per customer to build and manage agents for them. This is a startup idea I wish more people would do. The customer doesn't touch tokens or models or any infrastructure. They just get a digital employee that knows their business, and it gets better every single week. In this episode, Nick from Orgo breaks down exactly how to build this business, the tools, the stacks, how to onboard a customer in 30 days, and how to actually sell to busy executives, agencies, and law firms. We also share the full implementation playbook, Hermes, Claude Code, memory layers, skills, all of it. This type of episode isn't shared anywhere on the internet. This is the alpha that people keep for themselves. I'm giving it to you for free. I couldn't be more excited to have Nick from Orgo back on the pod. Nick, by the end of this episode, what are people going to get out of it?
Greg, everyone's going to learn not only how to run a solopreneur agent business, but every gap, everything that they're going to do wrong from the beginning. I'm going to save them all the time from having to learn from those mistakes that I made along the way. And at the end of this video, you're going to know what offer to bring to the market, how to get customers, how to fulfill, what's the stack for the agents that you're going to build out. And I'm excited to just dive right in. So
Nick, this isn't going to just be like a pie in the sky, I want $1 billion idea here. This is how you can take advantage of AI agents to build a business that maybe does a few $1 million a year, but not just the idea, right? You're going to actually share all the tactics from A to Z so that by the end of this episode, someone could obviously like and comment and subscribe, but go and start one of these businesses, right?
Exactly. And I think the big thing is for everyone who's watching the pod, you're probably already affluent with AI and you don't give yourself enough credit. And the amazing thing is 99% of the world has, there's many people are so behind on AI, and you may not realize how valuable your skill set is. If you can set up Claude Code, if you can set up Hermes Agent, if you can set up OpenClaw, that's a very valuable skill that a lot of businesses don't have time for. So this is the offer that I've been running off the rip. And I guess I'll read a little bit. I wrote some of this stuff down. The big thing here is the point is not that the customer needs infinite agents. They don't need infinite tokens or infinite computers. Most customers, they just need one, maybe two, maybe three. They just need a seamless experience. That is what you, as your business, as the solopreneur agency, you're going to come in and you're just going to remove all the friction. And the minute that things start to break, the business owners that you're going to be selling to, they're going to become so reliant, so dependent on these agents that if something does start to break, it is very painful for them. And so in this video, I want to make sure that I help you make it very clear on how to prevent those fall gaps so that when something breaks, you have something and a way to fix it before they even realize it. If a customer, if they want constant improvements, how do you keep up? How do you fulfill? We're going to be going through all of that in this video.
Cool. Yeah. So, my big takeaway from this is you're selling an AI employee. You're not selling an AI agent. People need less agents than they actually think that they need. And you want to think about unlimited, you don't want to use the word tokens basically at all. And you shouldn't really worry too much about usage.
Exactly. Because for them, it ruins the magic. The minute you say you're going to be paying for X amount of credits, and then they're always going to be wondering how many credits do I have left? And then you're going to be and then it's usage based afterwards. It's the more clarity, the more simplicity you can create in the offer, that it's just straightforward and easy, the faster time to yes, the faster you can get building, and the faster you can just, have a happy customer. So, that's the offer so far. And so then the key here is you want to go vertical. So as always, you want to clarify you're not a commodity. You're not just selling, Claude Code. You're not just selling ChatGPT. You're selling a vertically specific, industry specific agent. You're doing it fast. It shouldn't take longer than 48 hours to get up and running with the first agent for your customer. And you need to talk in terms of time, not time saved, but actually outcomes for the business. So how much revenue can you generate for the business, or how much, always business outcomes rather than time saved. I feel like time saved is a little overused, and people are kind of immune to that these days. So that's the offer. It's pretty simple. And I'll just dive into like what we're seeing in terms of our own experience of like running this offer. I believe that as a one-person business, you can sell these agents into industries and really just kind of be not only selling the agents, but also just creating clarity around AI. Like, I think if you're watching this pod, you understand AI pretty well. You probably have a better understanding than most people, and you might not give yourself enough credit of how valuable that is. And to be the person who can create clarity around all the noise right now, that alone is valuable. And then to be able to couple that with the tools to help solve problems in these businesses, it's like you're going to become so irreplaceable for the business that it's really just going to be like you and the agents are going to be what drives the value. So I have some industries here. In red, I have healthcare and finance because I don't think that these are necessarily the best industries to start off in. They're very high regulatory burdens and red tape. And so I actually recommend these other industries that we're seeing work really well, which is marketing agencies, law firms, insurance agencies, manufacturers, wholesalers, and real estate agencies. The reason for these industries that you might notice is that they're relatively, I would say maybe like legacy industries, not necessarily like new fast growing industries, but they want to be fast growing. They want to adopt AI, and they have a lot of pain to be able to use it as a tool to essentially just grow their business. The common pattern with all of them is they want to be a full stack AI company, meaning they want to be like fully automated with AI. That's the dream outcome. We're not there yet, but you can certainly come in and start solving the problems from the executive level, and then it'll ripple its way throughout the rest of the business. And I'll dive in on some of the common patterns, but how are we feeling so far?
Yeah, I think those are all people businesses. So there's a lot of people. When you have a lot of people, there's a lot of waste in terms of efficiency, and there's ways to automate things. That's one. Two is those, a lot of these companies want to be AI native is another way to say what you're saying, but they don't know how. They might have pieces of their companies that have become AI native. They might work with Deloitte. They might work with, different, AI transformation agencies, but, to assume that these companies are 100% AI native is insane because they're not. And then the last thing here is these categories are large, right? Like law, that's really large. Insurance agency, that's really large. Manufacturing, that's large. Wholesalers, large. The key here is once you've identified a category that you want to go after, then you have to figure out what is the subcategory or sub niche that I want to go after. It's too hard to just focus on wholesalers, but and the way to think about it from a framework perspective is, pick a category, and then you can do like, real estate agencies in Florida. So that's like, a geography is one way to do it, or you can pick a specific type of real estate, professional. So it could be commercial real estate, agencies in Florida. So there's different ways to think about how you can niche down. And that's going to be really key here, because if you want to create an irresistible offer, a big way to get the attention of someone is to be like, oh my God, this person is really speaking to me.
Exactly. And honestly, like even a little bit of some contrarian advice from my end is like, you don't have, I have a feeling as though you don't have to start super niche from the beginning. In fact, you can always niche down after trying a marketing agency, trying a law firm, trying all these different industries, seeing what works well for you, where the market pulls you, and then going super vertical. But I really love like the concept of like, it's a design thinking principle of diverge and then converge. So like, try many different things as long as it's not, for too long, because you don't want to get into this constant cycle of trying something new, and you never get to focus. But once you find the thing that clicks for you, whether it's you're able to resonate with the audience really well, or you're just getting pulled into that market more, like, yeah, go super niche, go sub niche, and use that as your wedge to kind of like infiltrate the rest of the market. Yeah, I think that's spot on. So, and then as far as the common things that we're seeing, right? So within all these industries, what you'll find is the people you're going to jump on calls with, the people that are going to likely be the decision makers and the ones purchasing your service or your productized service. These are the executives, these are the decision makers. And when you abstract on all these industries, the decision maker at the end of the day has very similar problems no matter what the industry is. They have too many emails, too many meetings, too many follow-ups, too many open loops. They have context over so many different projects and places and people to keep track of. And so just out of the gate, if you can anticipate this, you can have something that you put together that, maybe from a template perspective solves a lot of these issues. And then you can cater more specifically into that niche, into that vertical for that industry. If it's a law firm and you have a partner who wants to buy your services, you can have all of these things out of the blocks for your agents that you set up, which I'll show you how to do also in this video. And then you could also cater it for that particular industry. So, yes, we have an agent that does, following up with people, projects, etc. But it also manages your cases. It does demand letters for your law firm. It does all the different things and skills that you would need for maybe a matrimonial law firm, for instance. So that's the abstraction layer on no matter what, you're going to be solving a lot of executive problems. And then the key is to layer in vertical specific solutions as well. Okay, so there's that. That's the market. So we talked about the offer. We talked about the market. And I have some side things as well about like how to get customers. At the end of the day, I think everyone should make content. I think if you can jump on a call, this is just a little tidbit. If you can jump on a call with somebody and they know who you are and what you sell without you having to tell them, and they're warm to begin with, that's the ideal position to be. You never want to be in a position where you're having a cold call. You never want to sell to a cold audience. And, in the beginning, you might have to. So, starting for free even is sometimes worth it just to get case studies and get referrals. And what I'll do is I'll go on a walk and I'll send off a long horizon task to my agent via Telegram. I have my own, Hermes Agent is what I use these days. And I'm just in awe with what the world we live in today. Like how amazing. I can go on a walk and there's work being done for our business and on customers and, for their agents by my agent. And I'm just like, if you extrapolate that over the next 6 months, 12 months, like the most leveraged thing you could do is post a piece of content that reaches a lot of people and then have this robot that helps you fulfill for the thing that you're providing as you go on a walk or right before you go to bed or when you wake up. It's amazing. It's an incredible world we live in. So, yeah, let's dive into the stack, shall we? How do we build these things? Okay, so as far as the tools that you might need to fulfill for your service of providing agents for businesses, first and foremost, I use Granola. I love Granola. I use it for every meeting. They have an MCP. You can give it to your agent, and it just has context over everything. And what I do is these meeting notes from Granola, they automatically get synced into requests on Trello. And so Trello is the customer-facing, essentially project management Kanban board that I use. And so, there's a backlog list, there's a to-do list, there's a doing list, there's a done list, and the customer can just simply drag and drop what they want into the to-do list for, I want my agent to be connected to my calendar. I want it to have access to this other platform. I want it to create content for me. And they can just add these requests at one at a time. And the key here is these agents can, at this point, do so many different things. They could do so many things that you almost need to create, prevent scope creep by, limiting 1 to 2 requests in under 48 hours, because there's a lot and you could do a lot, but you just need to be careful that you don't, end up drowning in a fulfillment nightmare. So that's why Trello is helpful in terms of scoping. Loom is awesome. Your customers are going to want you to send them updates, send an update at 2 a.m., send an update at, different times of the day of you implementing new things for the agent, whether you improve the memory or you improve the Obsidian vault that it's operating off of. Loom is awesome. And then I just use like Calendly Link. Like I have a horrible funnel, but you can do a lot of, you can get a lot of bookings. Just Calendly Link, personal website, drive traffic there, create content. These are like pretty much the customer facing tools. And then I don't know about you, Greg. Do you use Superhuman?
The email tool?
Yeah.
I don't, but people tell me I should.
Oh my God. If you have a lot of emails, you're going to have a lot of emails with customers. Oh man, Superhuman is amazing. It has a bunch of shortcuts. I love keyboard shortcuts, and you just fly through emails. And it's not like it's AI generated. Like it makes you write the email and you have AI help you, but it's just a very focused platform. And then lastly, Asana. I use Asana for internal facing, so not customer facing. If I want to keep track of some specifics around details of what needs to be done. That's the software stack. Okay, let's dive into the agent side of things now. So for building agents, the irony here is if you don't know how to build an agent, please don't worry. I got you. We're going to use agents to build agents. And so Claude Code, they have a new desktop app. It's awesome. OpenAI's Codex, they have a new desktop app. It's awesome. And you can actually use these to build the agents for your customer. And as far as what agents to use, you have a couple options. You're not going to sell Claude Code to your customer. You could, or Codex. I mean, you could, but I highly recommend using Hermes these days. I find it to be the most reliable. It allows you to pick any model. The reasoning here is tomorrow there's going to be a new model that comes out. It's going to be infinitely cheaper, and it's going to be Opus 4.7 level intelligence. And it's like, you just want to have the flexibility to quickly switch whatever the agent that you're running, whatever model it's running, be able to switch that quickly. And you don't want to be married to a platform, married to a tool, married to an infrastructure. So Hermes, I really like. Have you played around with Hermes at all? I think I saw some videos.
Yeah, I have. I haven't, quite made the shift yet, but I've done an episode on it with my friend Imran. So go check it out if people are interested in learning about how to set up Hermes. We called it Hermes because we're fancy like that in the episode, and then we got, the team at Hermes, quickly corrected us.
They did? Oh, wow. Yeah. I like Hermes. Yeah, Hermes is a little more fancy. If you sell Hermes agents, you can charge $10K a month.
Exactly.
So, OpenClaw come on.